What is up, guys? It's your boy Kids coming back to you guys with a video. What I want to talk about is me remaking the Mason and just some random things for the channel. One of the funny things that happened is I ordered a PS5, all accessories, and it was a bunch of snow. So I got here, it ended up getting sent back to the person, and I communicated with the person, and what they wanted to do was to send me the money back and then try to resell the console. So I bought it for like 1,200, PS5, everything. And I think they're selling for around like 2,000 or something now. So I'm on a bid to get another PS5 with everything, and I'm waiting like a week or so for that bid to come through, and just doing some general like life stuff and whatever. And the background, I would have cleaned off this like stuff from it's like a black leather couch or whatever, but my cat's just like sleeping there, so I was like, I'll just leave the cute blanket and not look like a badass, right? So like just like black leather couch, like whatever. I usually put blankets on it so like it doesn't flake off, because what I need to do is like scrape it and fucking put the oil stuff on it to like refurbish it a little bit, but I haven't done that yet. So I just like vacuum it and put new blankets on it so it isn't like sticky or whatever, you know what I mean? Like when leather couches. But so I just remade the Mason. I got some stuff from Travis Barker for the CBD stuff, and I've been enjoying using CBD stuff instead of the weed stuff. And if you've known me for a long period of time or watched my channel previously or whatever, you know that I was a major pothead for the longest time, and just quit for a number of years. And the funny thing now is that using the CBD tinctures, I've actually found that I just enjoy CBD more than the weed stuff, which is really interesting in itself, just as a person, because if I asked myself 5 years in the past and was like, hey, like, are you gonna ever buy an ounce of CBD? Like, I would have laughed in my own face and been like, why would you do that? Like, that's diet weed. Like, that's literally what I would say. And I have said that to people in the past, like literally. But the CBD stuff actually does work. I have some neck tension, some head tension, just from like the way I sit, and like, I'll watch videos on my phone, I'll do this, and I'll like hunch over like this, it'll kind of get into my neck. I've only just recently started like doing this with my chin to like get that pressure gone. But vapes. Claps. But honestly, I got some random CBD stuff that was 100 milligrams, and then his stuff is 500 milligrams. So I was actually enjoying the 100 milligram. It was pretty good. And then once I used this one, I was like, it's just significantly stronger and it's noticeable. For the price, it was decent too. Like the 100 milligram one was like $20 at the store, and then his was like 60, and it's 5 times stronger. So 5 times 20 is 100, blankety blank, right? Money saved. So I'm probably gonna do that stuff for the vaping, and slowly transitioning off of nicotine too, because I'm on like 6 nicotine for my normal juice, and I'm about to get some more on 3. But you know how it is. And the wire on this is just a single coil spaced, it's like competition wire or whatever. So it's like 0.5 ohms, but the wrap is really wide, just so I can get the 5 ohms. I'm using a single coil, or a single 18650. So don't want to push it to like the 2 ohms. Vapor. Oh, I feel like there's nothing really else to do besides just kind of abstractly talk about stuff on the channel, things that I want to do. There's a number of the music playlists. I was doing that stuff because I was waiting for the PS5 and just was really frustrated. So I was trying to turn that frustration into some good creative energy. And one of the cool things about the playlist, my personal favorite part, is that I actually don't make any views from that. I don't make any money from the playlist. When people watch the playlist or I watch the playlist, what ends up happening is all the views go onto the person's channel. And the interesting thing that can happen is like, someone just catches on to like rap playlist or life playlist. I've had a bunch of DJs and stuff just pop on my playlists, and it's been good. Honestly, like the playlists are really good on shuffle. Like I just put them on there and just have some fun. Just like, putting out some of that creative energy of like, oh, this is my favorite song from when I was like 15 and like whatever, or like my ex-girlfriend this one time, like, you know what I mean? Like it's a bunch of those songs, like, and all these different like playlists and different kind of cultures and communities and different kinds of music. I've been a musician all my life, just random stuff. I picked up guitar like mid high school as a sad kid, and fucking just never learned like how to play properly. Just always like abstract, just played whatever I wanted. And all I really did was learn how to play notes and finger style. So now I'm like I guess the easiest thing that I do, the 12 string, I guess I'm practicing now because I want to do a 12 string guitar piece inside of the rap stuff because I'm still wanting to focus, on the rap stuff. So that's like the easiest thing for music that I'm gonna produce that, I want some money from and views and all that jazz. I just produced that album. There's gonna be a number of rap stuff. I think I might just do one isolated like poetry, one isolated like guitar piece, maybe do some singing. We'll see how it goes with the recording equipment and stuff like that. I'm still waiting for a bunch of electronics. I like a random TV that's just fucking like angled, like just like over, like against the wall. Like I'm like, I just have to like get rid of that. And there's like literally, I like ironically, there's like a tech shop literally right next to where I live. So I'm gonna drop off some of this random tech stuff, pick up some new tech stuff. I have to pick up tech stuff from where I was living before, and then drop that stuff off too at the place to get new stuff. Like there's just so many things going on. Later on, I'm gonna be like organizing some of my Magic Yu-Gi-Oh cards, selling some of that stuff, playing a lot more of Magic Arena. I'm really, really excited for COVID to be over because I can finally play Commander again and just go out and fucking play with the boys. And just, have fun with my group hug style, play everything, fun decks. I don't know, so like tier levels of the commander decks. Mine's at like a fun 7. like I can play against like tier 8 and tier 9s, but I'm not gonna win on turn 3. Like it's just not gonna happen. But I can definitely do some really cool stuff on turn 3, but I'm not gonna win. So, it's definitely a fun deck. I've been missing going out and playing with like commander groups. And I'm just like, I'm like looking at the red dot, but it's been so long since I messed with this tripod. I still like, there's a whole police thing. Like, in Middletown, the police have like fucking my camping gear and they have my, the other tripod and like some other tech. I have to go pick that stuff up. I'm planning on going up later. The thing for the tattoo shop. Hopefully I'm going to be able to coordinate something with Infamous Tattoo because I'm from Middletown, hoping to move soon, all that. It's just a cool, iconic stuff because, Ink Master as a kid, I've been wanting to get tattoos, so I'm finally going to pull the trigger on a bunch of my tattoos. And so, hopefully that'll work out well. So I'm planning on going up to the tattoo shop, hitting Middletown, so I'll be there for like a day or something. And, I don't think I'm really going to visit anyone because, like, there's no one really cool to hang out with. Like I basically moved, like, where I am now because, like, some of my closest friends are here. So I don't know. And I'm personally still planning to move to California, but with the amount of money that I'm making this year, I don't know if I, like, where exactly, because, like, this year I'm supposed to make somewhere around $700,000. So, that might be a miss. It might be right on target. It might be more. I have a lawsuit going against the private prison industry that should net me over $1 million. So there's that. And then there's like a handful of different kind of like, I don't know, just like life things happening this year that I'm not really sure like where I'll be next year. So, I don't know, like a video like this is definitely interesting to kind of just put like all those kind of like where the channel might be, where I might be going in the next year. So, the funny thing is that now that we have Biden, I might not make $700,000 this year. Like I already netted like 40,000. So like, it's fine. Like me staying at this apartment is paid for completely. And if I move to California is also paid for completely. So in the next 4 years, done. But the $700 might disappear because the economy is going to stabilize, which normally happens normally the economy crashes under Republicans and then stabilizes under Democrats. So what'll typically happen, specifically in this case, probably a lot, is that the economy is going to stabilize and the stock market is going to crash. However, where I'm positioned, I'll still have incremental gain regardless of the crash or rebounds. And the problem is I won't make $700,000 if Biden can fix the economy this year. if you can fix the economy in 365 days, I won't make $700,000. And honestly, like that's fine with me. And then I still have the lawsuit going too. So, so I don't know really where I'm going to be in the next couple of years. but I have a feeling it's going to be on a private island. So it's just going to be a fun thing. Hopefully anyone that's around hanging out for the next while will enjoy the different art forms that I'm doing. And I'm going to be focusing a lot on like drawing, painting, picking my guitars, my bass back up, collecting the cards and everything, going out a little bit. Tomorrow I'm planning on going out to Days and Nights. I'm going to hit my local and I'm just going to fucking just buy a whole bunch of shit and just, make some more money off of that and do some more organizing and more math and But so it's basically that I did the whole art project and stuff and was working on that stuff with the AMV playlists and everything. I feel pretty satisfied with that. It's just kind of it's like a fun singles comedy club that's like highly introspective, highbrow comedy. I feel like that's like the best way to describe it. I think it's a great place for artists to just like dick around and have some fun. And I think it's just an interesting place, I think, that artists appreciate because they get like a bunch of views and I'm not like taking advantage of it. Oh, that reminds me too. So in a little bit, I'm going to be targeting like specific people that I enjoy like music from and doing like montages like I normally would do. But like now what I want to do is mix in some stuff like NFX stuff that I can make money from over time for the montages, because the large majority of the montages that I've done over the years and years and years that I've produced montages is I just use other people's music, regardless of if I have the rights to it or not. And the interplay is that they get notified and they go, hey, like, there's this guy, he made a video with your thing. Like, do you want to take it down? Do you want to monetize it? And most normally what happens is the artist either goes, well, I just don't like it. They either take it down, gets like, taken down in certain countries if it doesn't fit like the kind of the theme of how they portray themselves or whatever, or they just leave it up, so one way or the other. I want to mix kind of doing what I was always doing with that, with, adding stuff, specifically probably NFX, because his stuff is like really fire and it's like rock and roll, but rap, but it's also like dubsteppy and it just has a really nice flow for like clips. So I mean, it's messed up, but it's like, it's easy, like literally just fucking download 20 NFX songs, like, and just get enough clips, and just do that. And, I think the longest time that I've wanted to, do on the channel is really just express art. Like I was never really concerned with money for the channel because of the monetary position that I've always been in. I've always been like the person that saves money in my family. I've always been the smart money guy in my family. And that's just been consistent ever since I was a kid. Like, it's just what it is. I make the most money in my family of everyone that's alive. My grandparents are dead. And that it's been that way since I was 20. Or actually, since I was about 18 or 19, I was making the most money in my family. So it's, I've had some interesting life stories, I guess, that interplays too with like, difficult life stories. I know in all my videos, such a random tangent, because I've been thinking a lot about my family and me moving out and like improving my life and like growing up and adulting or whatever. And, it's one of those things where I always post on these videos that it's like, hey, I've been through so much shit. Like you can just be like, hey, I'm struggling with this. And I can just be like, oh yeah, I've been there probably. Like, like I've just struggled through so many levels of abuse that like, there's literally, like there is no level of abuse that I have not experienced in my life. Literally none. For whatever reason, I have enjoyed a lot of intellectual suffering in my life and have overcome those things. And I just enjoy talking to people and having a good time. But it's such a weird thing now, because what I'm seeing in the world is like this need in coronavirus for people that are just like making these little islands, if you will, on YouTube or social media and connecting that way and portraying, a certain media form or feeling or whatever. And I think most of the time what I've experienced in my life was like being a high schooler and partying every week, like the whole time. Like we're talking like smoking, drinking on the balcony, the party house for the entire time. Like literally, like people were like, Middletown's so boring. no one does anything in Middletown, and me and my friends are like, that's cool. Like, and we're sitting there like, drinks later tonight, like texting each other, you know, like bonfiring it up. So, most of my younger life experiences was just partying really hard inside of kind of family group scenarios, and a lot of like Republican friends, big Republican town, biker gangs and shit, and, bonfires and bars and pool and whatever. That's kind of what I grew up around in Middletown area. And it was basically the boonies, but like me and my friends were the party kids. So, me in my life, like I've just enjoyed kind of like having and always throwing like these open atmosphere, good vibe type places. And, a lot of that went pretty south, towards my 20s to 25s, because all the shit that was going on, which I'm not going to talk about. And, or at least for now, I'm not going to talk about. And, I think that's pretty well-rounded, just random shit for the channel. It's a pretty long video. I mean, I can upload like really long videos, but this is just like such a whole thing. This is like such a thing. So I think that's pretty much all I want to say. I don't know. Might as well vape and make it 20 at this point. Like, just personally, like I have some like I don't know, like issues with planning. So I'm like, I've always been such a free flow person that like, things like this, like, I don't know, it's just different. I usually don't like write down a list of ideas of things I want to talk about. I just kind of brainstorm with myself of like, do I want to make a video? Because like literally like the only thing I've been thinking about for the channel is like, should I post a video that talks about how I kind of got a PS5, but then it like didn't show up, but then it like got sent back, but then it like got sold by the guy again, but then like I'm gonna buy another one. Like it's like a whole thing. Like, you know what I mean? And it's such a funny artistic face representation of just like, who cares? Like, I'm just gonna get a PS5 eventually. Like, it's just like, I just can't even, I just can't like get a hold of one. Cause I was in prison at the time when it was, I was in prison when it was released. Thanks, Mom. That was a whole situation. I'll talk about more like once all the lawsuits settle and shit. Just easy stuff. And I don't know. There's nothing really to talk about. I'm probably gonna play some music, unwind a little bit, maybe upload this at some point. And it's been your boy Kittens. And definitely, if you smoke weed for what I did, the sleeping and eating, try CBD. It actually works surprisingly well, actually.